Welcome to the Pod in Your Basement podcast, featuring Ben DeLessio and Joe Garza. They're alive, they're hungry, and they're opinionated.
Classic Bill O'Reilly. We used to quote that all the time in college.
We'll do it live, and he did it. He did a great job, like just like segueing from pure anger to.
Oh, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Coming up next is U2 with playing us out.
The word of the day is pithy or whatever.
All right,
that's enough fun. Let's get serious.
Yeah, man. So,
welcome to the basement. Joe's in a basement. Psych, he's in a garage.
Yeah, in my parents' basement. No. Yeah, no. I'm haunting my parents' place for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So this week for this episode, we're talking about obsession.
Yeah. You already made that mistake. It's obsession.
Yeah.
With you could say that he looks at Nikki as an possession.
There we go. Thanks.
An objectification. Yes, deep. This obsession. This movie came out this year, and I'm gonna go off on a limb here and say it's really good.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 out of on a scale of like 1 to 10, I don't know, dead cats, I would give it.
Yeah, I didn't love that part. Add that to the list, but
I would give it 7. You know, I thought it was a very solid flick.
Oh, really? You only thought? I actually loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It's my number 1 movie of the year right now. I haven't seen. So I saw the heavy hitters would be, I guess, like Project Hail Mary. I did like it more than that. I actually really like Wuthering Heights, but I haven't seen a lot of the. I just watched the drama, which was also excellent. But none of those are horror. This is a horror podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Obsession is, and even still, Obsession is my number 1. I forget what I gave it. Let me pull it up. I think it's in the 90s. 5-star movie. I know you're on the edge of your seats right now. It is a 94, which is really, really good. Like I thought it was an awesome movie. And I'm going to tell you why in this next hour episode.
Yeah. So let's cover the plot a little bit without giving too much away. I mean,
I don't know. Should we do? Well, yeah, we didn't really talk about that. Do you want to do spoilers or no spoilers, or start no spoilers maybe?
Yeah, no spoilers. I think we can discuss. Oh, I mean, you know, the movie's out. It's streaming now. So I mean,
that's true.
Don't give away like the ending. Don't give away.
Okay. It came out May 15th, and it is on streaming. Yeah, it's not like we saw it like a special release,
right,
or anything, or even saw it like opening night. I watched it 2 weeks ago, maybe, and you just watched it. So that's just going to be today's episode is Obsession. So first of all, it was made. The director is a guy named Curry Barker, who I didn't know who that was. And then when I saw it, like I had heard it's a YouTuber made it, and it's a big deal, real low budget, made a ton of money. Yeah, and I guess I'm not into like streaming. Like a lot of people know stream, like the young guns. That's like kind of one of the new celebrities, or I mean not new necessarily, but. Like, who do you watch streaming? Like, who are the streamers? And of course, I know the big ones, like Hassan, who's been doing it for a while, who I can't stand. But this guy was a YouTuber, streamer, like TikToker. And then when I saw him, I'm like, oh, I've actually seen like 1 or 2 clips of him. I'm like, that guy who made some dumb, in the backseat of a car, making fun of kind of content creators, like spilling cups of water all over himself, like that. I'm like, that guy just made the number 1 movie of the year that I've seen so far, like a horror movie. Like, that's crazy. It shows how talented he is. Good for him. It's Curry Barker.
And I want to comment on that a little bit because it is, you know, we I don't know if we've talked a whole lot specifically on this show, but probably on over on TRM, but like, you know, sort of like the death of Hollywood in recent years
Yeah.
of, you know, like this endless sequels and prequels and franchises and shared universes and remakes and reboots and all that stuff. And how, you know, of course, you know, ticket sales are starting to go back up since COVID, but you know, Hollywood does feel very bland for a lot of people. But we're starting to see pockets of originality and creativity coming from like not the Hollywood system, but like, you know, like, so Curry Barker, you know, YouTuber. We haven't done an episode dedicated to the backrooms yet, but that was also a YouTube thing.
Yeah, I knew I was missing one. I know.
And then the other one,
Shelby Oaks.
Yeah, Shelby Oaks and Lung. Was it Iron Lung or something? Or
I don't know.
Made by a Markiplier. But he's another YouTuber that so anyway, so like we're and especially in the horror film, in the horror genre, because I mean so many mainstream horror movies are kind of bland, but you know these movies have come out and have to varying degrees become quite successful financially and gotten some great reviews.
I mean, hold on, can I comment on that real quick? Just the numbers.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia, the budget for this movie, was $750,000. Do you know what the box office was according to Wikipedia?
Yeah, like 450,000, 475. I'm sorry, million. Sorry,
475 million.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is so insane. Where like they're making Batgirl and have to cancel it because to like you know not
tax write off.
Yeah, exactly. Like tax loss harvesting or whatever it is. The Hollywood accounting there, and that's so. And that was a couple of years ago, but that's so crazy to me that this, which one we've always said it, and I don't think it's like news anymore that horror is just one of those genres that you don't need a big budget to make something very bless you, very financially successful, interesting, scary, of course, which is like number one. I think that just speaks to the feeling of being scared and how it's attractive to people in certain settings, like in a quote unquote safe environment of a movie, right? I think other people would be like, well, I don't want to do one of those haunted houses where people chase you and I don't want them to be in any actual danger. But like seeing a movie, it kind of scratches that itch of experiencing fear, but then getting to go to your home or whatever it is, or go to bed or whatever.
Exactly.
You know, so I think that's just, I mean, this is, I think, one of the best examples of it, because for a while it was like Blumhouse kind of had the cheat code. They could like, make a dumb slasher, hire nobodies, and it would make millions and millions of dollars on a very small budget. And it was like, okay, that's fine. Like that's financially successful. And if you're going to use that money to then put it behind more ambitious projects, great. But like, okay, that kind of became itself like stale. Sometimes I want to throw one of those on. But
Blumhouse movies are kind of like, you know, well-made, I don't want to say trash, but like well-made B movies where it's like it's above average, it's not groundbreaking, but you're like, you know, it's a decent, you know, little flick.
They can be fun, they can again scratch the itch, but they're not like, this is different. And that's what I'm liking. I haven't seen Backrooms yet, but I'm sure I'll like. I obviously I saw the YouTube original, which has like how many millions of views now?
Like probably
80 million, hundreds of million, something insane. That was only a few minutes long, but you know, this is like I feel like this is kind of a. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. But this feels almost like a stepping stone of like, no, you can make high quality, freaky, scary movies with a relatively low budget. And you don't need to be like, I don't know, for instance, if Jordan Peele's movies were that expensive, but he was also already famous. Like he had show, you know, so he was new to movie making, but he was already famous. Like this was a YouTuber. This was a TikToker even. I don't even know what you would call him. And the lead actor, male, is I think relatively unknown, or he'd been in a couple things. Indy Navarrete is the lead, like the main lead, the girl who is the has the obsession. She had been in things like, but she had been in some movies, some shows, but nothing of this caliber yet. So, and I think the most. Cooper Tomlinson, I think, is also a YouTuber. Yeah, he's also a YouTuber. He's the best friend, and Andy Richter's the biggest name here.
Yeah,
he's in a handful of scenes. Like he's not even a lead or anything. So
yeah, I was surprised by that. I'm wondering how they managed to do that. I mean,
I didn't know it. I didn't notice it at first. I'm like,
yeah,
that looks familiar, but like he had like facial hair, I think, and I didn't really see him like that.
But yeah, it is one of those things where it's like. I mean, you know, but then again, if you know, if you live in LA, you know, they shot this in LA, and I'm assuming that the Curry Barker's is probably like LA based. So it's one of those things where it's like if you you know developed a decent enough audience, you've probably rubbed shoulders with somebody who knows Andy Richter. So it probably was like, hey, you know Andy Richter? Would you mind to get him? You know, we can pay him $20,000 to do 3 scenes. He's got 5 lines.
Yeah, he has to show up for a few days or whatever. So anyway, getting back to, so you're right. This was filmed in LA because I think one of the houses they shot in and they went to do reshoots had burned down during the fires.
Oh, the LA fires. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think the house where the like hangout scene when they're playing drinking games, like sitting, that scene. I think that house maybe burned down. I'm not sure. Okay. But anyway, so you say like, I do look as much as I can disdain the like Hollywood politics and the machine of it, but like I do think it's cool this was filmed in LA. Like, what is Hollywood now? Like, is it just studios or is it like a lot of? But I do think LA still has a mystique to it that because Curry Barker is not from California. He's I think from Alabama, so like he went there. Yeah. Right. So there's still that pull. And I like that. I like that there's still people who just like you who just have a draw to LA, even though I think you're crazy to live there. But you have this draw to this city, like people like Tarantino, who it's just like kind of in the water, it's in their blood, and they just want to like, be a part of that. Yeah. And so I because I almost feel like it's more of like thumbing their Hollywood's nose. Yeah. Like thumbing, shoving their nose in it or whatever. It's like, look, I just made this. I didn't make this in Atlanta. Yeah. I didn't make this in New York. I didn't make this in Toronto. Like I made this in LA, in your backyard, and I made $475 million with no names. Yeah. And you're blowing money on, Cape Flyer 9, Marvel Super Friends. Like, right.
Yeah, no, and I think it also gives hope to a lot of people. Because I mean, like, there's this whole like, as I just mentioned, like the death of Hollywood, and but at the same time, it's like I hope that this changes Hollywood. I hope that Hollywood's like, okay, maybe we're gonna move away from, endless franchises and move more towards, it's a smaller budget, but as long as we bank more on creativity and originality, and maybe we can look, to outside places other than just like nepo babies, maybe. I
don't know, man. I feel like it's almost this like a self-feeding. So one of two things I think could happen here, because you already heard the reports that now it's like every assistant mid-level employee at the studios, or I don't even know how it like works necessarily, or like scouring the internet and YouTube and finding like the next Curry Barker, who's gonna make the next interesting.
Ooh, you're kind of breaking up there.
Oh, am I?
Oh, there you are. I got you.
Yeah, I could hear you the whole time.
Weird. Yeah, you got a little discombobulated there.
Weird. All right. Well, I made a note 13 minutes if you want to around that time anyway. So I was saying, because they are now looking for the next Curry Barker, right? Like they're looking who's the next YouTuber, who's the next talented TikToker. And I feel like that's not going to, I think it's going to produce a lot of slop and a lot of crap.
Yeah. That's there's definitely that thing. I mean, like, when Tarantino first burst onto the scene in the 90s, it was like, oh, cool. Like finally, like this gave Hollywood like a fresh jolt, right? But then you just got a lot of like self-aware, dark comedy crime movies, and you're sort of like, okay, but most of those are forgettable. So
fast talking cultural references, ultra violence. So but okay, if that made there are I would watch. I don't watch as many anymore, but for the last few years I was watching like 150 movies a year, right? I'm probably in the top 1% of just volume movie watchers who's not actually connected to, like, I'm not a professional movie reviewer, I'm not in the industry, and there's still hundreds and hundreds of movies that come out every year that I don't watch, right?
Right.
So there's always going to be a lot of slop, just like Halloween created how many slashers, how many mass slashers. So that's I don't think that's necessarily the problem. It's more of like, well, they're gonna get their grubby fingers into it, and it's just like it's not gonna be cool anymore. It's not gonna. It's almost, I don't know, like an inverse relationship type thing where because it's not connected, that you don't have the suits, right, who are saying to cut all these things, who are, have no. David Lynch would complain about this, right? Like he would say they'd watch the movie while eating breakfast at 9 a.m. and have no idea, and they say, "Oh, we have to cut this and cut that," and they make the calls because they write the checks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know, or it could. I think it'll just not really produce anything, but we'll see. I guess if you put money behind talented movie makers, but then this shows that like you don't need to put money behind it, and you can make money and make. I think this movie has staying power. And anyway, we haven't really talked about. Let's get into. Unless you have anything else to add?
No. I'll just say that I'm glad that we're going through this phase right now where we're getting smaller, but also much more original creators getting the limelight and proving that it's financially viable. And I hope that this continues. But we'll see.
All right. So, Obsession. It's a pretty small cast, and it's a simple, almost unoriginal in its plot device and setup, right? And I think that's kind of the point. It's a group of, what do you think they are? Early 20s?
Early 20s, yeah.
Yeah, early 20s friends, like not college age, but like kind of that era right out of college where you're working menial jobs. Like they all work at it's like a music store.
Like a used guitar store or something like that.
Exactly. And they're going out to not bingo night, trivia night at the bar. And basically one of the friends, Bear, who's a young guy, his name is, well, he goes by Bear. I don't know what it is.
His main name is Baron. But,
Baron Bailey. Yeah, he goes by Bear. And he has a crush on Nikki, who is a coworker and friend, who's played by Indy Navarrete. And then there's just the setup. And then there's Ian, who's Bear and Nikki's coworker, kind of Bear's best friend, played by Cooper Tomlinson. And then Sarah, who's a friend with all of them, works with all of them, and played by Megan Lawless. And she kind of comes in more later. I feel like she's not that important in the beginning. So really the setup is Bear has a huge crush on Nikki, who it's unrequited, right? However you say that. Yeah. And he wants to share his feelings with her. He goes to buy her a gift. Do you mind if I just kind of set up the movie?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, he goes to buy her a gift. He goes to like a kind of one of those stores that when you see that store, you can just smell it. Like you just smell it. It just smells like
the new agey. Yeah. And
all right, so we're back. All right, having some technical difficulties here.
So we were talking about the dumb hippie store that Bear.
Yeah. So he goes in to get her a gift. It's very. I actually thought that was one of the funnier parts was the workers. Like the first time he goes in, it's a woman. Yeah. I can't remember the specifics, but I remember it being very funny. And then the guy at the end is also very good. But that was like some of the comedic relief I felt like, which wasn't really present in the rest of the movie. Oh, anyway, to set up, of course, minus 1,000 points. The movie basically starts with the dead cat, which sucks. I dislike. At least you don't like see it die, but he walks in as a dead cat.
And to be fair, it also looked really fake too. I thought the cat corpse looked very fake.
The dead cat, unfortunately, for someone like me, plays a larger role in this movie. It's not just because I found that made me feel extremely empathetic for Bear, like right away. But the cat returns. Not in like a Pet Cemetery type way, but in a actually more disgusting way. But anyway, so he's very sympathetic. He comes home, his cat's dead. So first of all, who does one thing I didn't get about the movie,
Mm.
I'm not sure because this movie you have to suspend disbelief in some things, but
Yeah.
who does he live with?
So from what I understand, he lives by himself, but there's a line where she goes to his place, and then he goes, and she goes, "Wow, you got a nice place." And he goes, "Yeah, it was my grandmother's. I got to keep it after." So it seemed to imply that he just got it after, like, because he inherited it.
I remember that line, but the cat dies because it ate oxycodone, right?
Yeah, got into his medication.
That was his.
I assumed it was because he's such a weirdo.
I thought it was setting up because the house looks like not somewhere that a 24-year-old or however like would live alone. So like, he definitely lives with like a sick mom or grandmother, and that was their medication.
Oh,
but
maybe that's
just what I thought. But then the whole time I'm like, where is everyone? Like where is the person he lives with? But I
just figured he was a typical like Gen Z, just like over medicated, just like I got anxiety, so I take medicine for this, and I take sleeping pills for that. And
sure, but oxycodone is pain medication. That's not like Zoloft or something.
Again, I wouldn't put it past Gen Z to be like, oh, I need it for my crippling. I got a 9 to 5, and it just hurts my my trauma.
I guess.
But again, it wasn't fully explained. There was another part where he was talking to another female friend, and then she said, "Oh yeah, I can't sleep tonight." And he goes, "Well, I got a bunch of sleeping pills." So I was like, "Oh, is it just like this guy has pills up the wazoo?" I don't know. Maybe that was his grandmother's stash that was her stuff. So
yeah. So anyway, I don't know how a cat would get into it, but so he goes to the store. It's just weird. You just smell that store right away, which I think is so funny. They buy something called a One Wish Willow, and it's supposed to grant you snap it. Kind of reminded me of. Did you see Weapons?
No, I still haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, Weapons very good. So if you've seen Weapons, it kind of reminds me of when there's this trigger where she snaps a bunch of like twigs, and it doesn't look necessarily like that because it's just it's an actual product, but it reminded me of that. Like you snap the thing and then boom, immediately it like casts a spell. Right. That's what the One Wish Willow is. It's like a stupid toy that you buy in like a nicer Spencer's type shop.
Yeah.
So he goes to give it to her. He's gonna spill his heart to her.
Well, he initially went there because she broke her necklace or something, and it was like a gemstone necklace. So he went to this dumb hippie place to buy a necklace.
Yes,
and while he's there, he sees the One Wish Willow. So he's like, "Oh, what the hell? Maybe I can, make a wish for her to love me back."
Well, right? No. So he gets it. He's supposed to give it to her.
Yeah,
like that's what is ironic about it is that it's a gift for her that. So he's gonna go to it's a very gemstone store. That's what I'll call it, the gemstone store.
Yeah,
and a lot of like horoscope stuff. And they're either out at the bar and they're drinking and they're having a good time, and then he's going to drive her home, and they have a conversation in the car. It doesn't go necessarily very well. He's has the gift for her, forgets to give it to her. She's walking up and she's on her front doorstep. And then he's like, you know what, screw it. I wish, I think the line is, because it's important what he says. It's, I wish that Nikki loved me more than anything in the world. I'm pretty sure that's the line. Yeah. And he snaps it. Like not even, like not giving a second thought. Just kind of like, I wish Nikki loved me more than anything in the world. Snap. And then you see her and she just like stops. Yeah. And turns out, and I thought the lighting was really good there. That's something I noticed. It's really good lighting.
Yeah. Like, you see her silhouette.
Yeah. And then that's basically the plot of the movie. Like that, it all starts kind of there as when the obsession starts. So
the relationship starts off like kind of like very idyllic, early 20s. Like, she's a very pretty girl. She's very friendly. She's fun. Like she's the perfect chick.
Yes, right? Exactly. She's a very cool chick who's pretty and can hang and knows music. Yeah, exactly. You could see why you would have a crush on her.
And there's a quick little montage of them just having a great time together, right? But she starts over the course of film, gradually displaying increasingly bizarre and disturbing behavior, and it's like, oh, that thing actually came true. And
yeah, so the One Wish Willow is completely legit. Like, this thing does what it says it's going to do, and you even see that later in a very literal way. So Nikki, yeah, it's not as if like he snaps it and she just jumps his bones. It does take it's the movie's called Obsession, but you've been calling it what, like possession?
Yeah.
Or like it is like a possession thing. We're in a lot of possession movies, a lot of exorcist type movies. It is gradual. It's not immediately, you know, speaking different languages and vomiting and levitating. It's gradual, and that's also what happens here. It's she makes excuses for why she can't be alone. She wants to spend the night with him when just seconds earlier she had no kind of sexual interest in Bear.
Yeah.
And but she's also conflicted. Like, you can see that. And a lot of time it's like a second personality, like and that comes out throughout the movie. There is a possession where it becomes like a split personality, where one personality, the obsessed one, is starting to dominate the psyche of Nikki.
Yeah. And I thought that her performance was terrific.
Yeah.
I thought she did a great job of playing like the really cool chick that, like, you know, any guy that age would be into. Like, I love how committed she was to all of the quirky things. And so I was very it's funny because I saw the meme before I saw the movie of her doing that unhappy, you know, upside down.
Yeah. The grimace, like a very, So let's talk, because I don't just want to go scene by scene, like what happens in this movie. Let's talk like favorite moments, favorite scenes. Like, so the first moment that I think my first like moment where I was like, oh shit, like that's really good. I think this is first is the next morning they spent the night together and they did not have sex.
They didn't. The first night they did not.
Yeah, they did not have sex. You know, I can't remember the order necessarily what happened, so I won't even try. But Bear's going to work. She's not feeling, you know, he kind of convinced her to stay home. Like, hey, you know, you're not feeling great. She's kind of off. Can't remember, was it the first night, the one where she's watching him, or was that later?
I think it was later.
Okay, so she's on the couch. It's shot like, you know, I don't know the technical terms for it, but like, you know, her front, his front going back and then some side, and then he looks to like their profiles, and he looks to the left, which is to the door, and his face just like completely, it's like, oh fuck. Like,
yeah, and real quick, just before we get to the reveal of that, I do want to say, so she's so they both work at the same place together, but she's like, hey, I'm going to stay home. I don't remember the exact reason why she wasn't working that day, but he goes, okay, well, I'm going to go to work. You stay here, and I'll see you after work. And she goes, okay, no problem. And then he just turns around, and then his face drops. She's completely like, okay, see you later, honey.
Yeah, just like nice. Yeah,
and then just cuts to his face, and you see it was the reaction shot, and then it shows what he's reacting to, and it's a door. The front door is all duct taped, completely duct taped.
The door is one. Yeah, it's such a good shot of just this door, completely duct taped.
Yeah,
and what I love, which is actually pretty funny, is that he doesn't go like, what the hell? Like, what did you do? What is this? He doesn't like go get he just kind of goes over. Kind of reminded me of I Think You Should Leave skit.
Where he pulls on the door the opposite way.
Exactly. I think it's the first ever I Think You Should Leave skit. Yeah. So Bear goes over and just like kind of like undoes some of the tape, pulls on it, like, and she's just there smiling, like, oh.
And then she very casually just says, "If you're having trouble with the door, maybe you can stay home." Like, just like very like it's like having trouble with the door that you caused the trouble.
Yeah, I think in other movies that scene would be like, then he turns back to her and she's like cackling maniacally or something, or like being really freaky. It's like, no, she's just normal, and he's just like, oh, okay, see you later. Just pulls it open, and it's like ripping apart. I think that was the first scene where I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah. That was a great reveal.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. So the movie does some great lighting tricks where she sounds very sweet and innocent and doting, but like she's hidden in shadows, or like her face is partially obscured by shadows, but like you see like the lights in her eyes, like there's glowing just a little bit.
Yeah.
And some of that was done digitally, but it's such a simple, like I could do it with like the software that I have. Like it's a very simple trick, but it was a great way of using the uncanny valley, of taking like a very sweet, fun, pretty girl and then just twisting it just enough so it's like.
I want to talk about that actually. I think that's a good segue into the uncanny valley, because this movie is in some ways a predictable kind of slow burn descent into madness in a way, but like an obsessive madness. And that itself can be like freaky, like scary, but there are a handful of, they almost feel out of place. And I think if the movie was handled differently, it would be stupid. But I actually really enjoy them. I think there's 3 or 4 moments in the movie where like something uncanny happens, where one of them is when she's watching, I think the first time happens is one of the early nights that they're together. He wakes up in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. or so maybe, and she's like in the corner-ish, like in the shadows, just standing there watching him, and she like is almost speaking but not speaking, kind of like a sidestep, like really this weird shit that gives you that visual horror that I think the movie did benefit from.
Yes,
because I think if you just did a pure descent into madness, she does like grosser, weird things that's just more linear, then I think that would be still a very good movie. But the uncanny, I think, and that's what triggered me to say this, to start this topic, is when you said uncanny, because it is uncanny. That moment, there's one, and that was like the least extreme example. There's another time where she like literally walks backwards, but it's very clearly just rewound. Yeah. It's not like she walks back. It's just, but she's speaking during it, and the words aren't backward, like they're not rewound. The speaking's normal, but she does like a weird, almost like robot type thing. From one room to another. That was, I thought like freaky, like ooh, like kind of gives you the chills. And the third one was that I can recall was she's in the background, I believe. And she's doing like a weird kind of walk with like her arms, like almost like a T-Rex type thing, I would describe it. And again, it's just off. Like it's just, the pacing is weird. And I don't know if that was her just acting or if it was manipulated in some way. But those 3 moments, at least I can remember, like completely uncanny and just added to like the classic visual scariness of a horror movie.
And it was built up gradually, which I really enjoyed. So the seed of that was first planted earlier on in the film. So it was after, like, they spent the night together. They don't have sex, but because he understandably is like, I'm glad that she's crashing at my place and she's in my bed, but she's acting really weird, so I'm gonna sleep on the floor. I'm like, I don't want to. She's
and they've been drinking, so he's like, he doesn't want to be accused of.
Exactly, yeah. So
get to that too, but
so he's like, all right, like, I want to be there for her, and I'm glad she's here, but at the same time, I don't want this to get too weird. So then the next morning they go to the music store together, and he's talking to his buddy, who I'll talk about his asshole friend, but later. But he's talking to his friend. His friend's like, dude, so what happened last night? So they're at the music store, and they're talking, and it's a typical. It's shot in pretty, like, typical Hollywood fashion, or it's just like, like the back and forth. But when it shows Bear, you see the girl in the background. She's out of focus, but she's staring at them the entire time. And she's not moving. Yeah, she's staring at them, watching them talk, and then they're going back and forth. And it's because it's hard to notice because she's blurry. But like when it finally does cut back to her, she's got like the sweetest smile, but she's just like not moving at all. So it's like, again, it's just performance and good camera work, and there's no special effects, but it's just sort of like, okay, things, she's getting a little weird now. And then, but it's just I thought it built up the creepiness more and more in a way that it didn't require like a whole lot of trickery. It was just great performances and clever tricks and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, his asshole friend. God, what an asshole that guy was.
Yeah. Well, you do. Oh, his name's Cooper. I was gonna call him Cooper. That's the actor. Actually, named Cooper Thompson, Ian.
Yeah.
But you do learn later, kind of why.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Do you want to talk about that, or
so
spoiler or no?
Yeah, it's fine. So it turns out Cooper has been casually banging.
Well, Ian, yeah, Cooper.
Oh yeah, Ian. Sorry, has been casually banging Nikki.
Yeah, they were hooking up, and they were just keeping on the down low.
So he wasn't exactly the most supportive buddy. Like if that was my friend, I'd be like, yeah, dude, yeah. So for example, like they're Bear is acting out like how he would share his feelings with Nikki, and then he turns to Ian. He's like, hey dude, like, I know we do trivia night, can you back out of trivia night so it's just me and her? And he's like, no, fuck that, man, like I gotta win trivia night. And it's like you dick, like you couldn't back out for one night. But
so did you look at that? Because I thought the reveal of that Ian and Nikki were hooking up, I thought that was kind of unnecessary, and like
it felt contrived. It didn't.
Yeah, like there was no hinting to it, was there?
No.
Or were you supposed to just view Ian as being like, dude, you're taking advantage of her? And I guess looking back, maybe like he would say like, you're taking advantage of her. She's not herself right now. Right. But also at the same time, like he didn't want Nikki at his party.
Right. Exactly.
So I don't know. I feel like it was kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, it did. It felt a little contrived. I think that it did need a little bit of fleshing out.
Yeah.
If he was active, because at the beginning of the movie, he is telling Bear, like, dude, like just go for it, man. Like you've been holding on to this for way too long.
Yeah. So exactly.
So on the one hand, so he is telling her, but at the same time, he's also being a dick about it. So it just those things seem to kind of conflict with each other.
Yeah. Yes, it didn't really take away from the movie. It just felt like an unnecessary detail.
Yeah, exactly.
Add anything. It's not like that was revealed and you're like, oh shit, like, oh okay. Like I was like, oh, all right, that's
like, if he was being much more of a dick about it, if he was being discouraging and saying, dude, like, trust me, you don't want to get mixed up with Nikki, trust me. She's a friend, but you don't. Then I would understand, like, oh, I thought he was being a dick, but now I understand why, because he wanted to spare him for the breakup.
He was supportive. He was supportive of him. Like, yeah, you should go for it. Just tell her. I think. In fact, like to be honest, this movie was so good, and that was just like not really that important.
Right. Right.
The scene that I think I recall the most since I watched it was I really liked the my favorite acting performance in the movie from Indy Neverett Nikki is when they're in the restaurant. They're in like the fast casual type restaurant.
Yeah.
And I forget exactly what happens, but Bear was going to see the other girl who's his friend, Sarah.
Oh yeah, Sarah.
Like something with Sarah. He was going to be somewhere with Sarah. And Nikki was very upset. She gets up and she's going like, no, don't do that. Don't do it. Like, I thought that was so good. He's like, oh shit, okay, just sit down. Like, and like that was so, to me, that might have been my favorite moment of the movie, because she's like kind of trying to keep a smile on her face.
Yeah.
It's just like cannot control herself and is freaking out and like not screaming, but speaking as loud as you can kind of before screaming. I don't know how to describe that part, but it to me, like that just kind of made me like sit up in my seat, because I didn't really know what was going to happen in this movie. Like I think I knew from here, like you brought up the memes, like something with her being like, it's called obsession. Okay. She's obsessed with him because I saw enough memes. I could put that together. Like, okay, for some reason, this girl's obsessed with a guy. I knew that. I did not know any of the other details on purpose. Like, I knew I wanted to watch this movie. So I tried not to learn too much about it. So that, I think, to me was the door with the tape, the duct tape, and then that scene. Those were like you kind of sometimes, doesn't always happen, but like moments happen in the first third of a movie, the first act of a movie or so, that you're like, okay, I think this is going to be good. It's like that. Sometimes they're not, but it's like, all right, like if it keeps this pace, it's going to be a hell of a movie. And that, to me, was kind of that moment.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think my favorite scene is the one in the bedroom where she's in the shadows and she's doing the jerky, like back and forth thing, and the twitchy. So I think that was like the second time they were together.
So you want to talk about, because so then there's unless you want to share another like moment, just we want to talk about the kind of themes of it.
Yeah, but real quick, I just want to say part of the reason why I like that, because it reminded me of the scene from one of my favorite horror movies, in Hereditary, that had where it had like the brother. This is after he accidentally killed his sister, and he sees her standing in the corner, and then her head falls off.
It just falls off. Yeah.
Yeah. The lighting and the composition of that was very reminiscent of that, but I mean, without copying it, like it was reminiscent of it, but still had its own thematic twists on it. So the themes. So the big obvious one that everyone's been talking about is that this movie's a metaphor for a crazy Latina ex-girlfriend.
Oh, is that what? Oh, that's not where I was going with this. See, I had not really heard that.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I saw it pop on Twitter a lot.
I totally get that, and I see a lot of crazy Latina memes, and I send them to my brother, who's married to a Dominican.
Yeah,
but now, I do see that. That's pretty good. I was going to say more of the political, gendered battle of the sexes type.
Oh, okay.
Where this is a incel movie,
right.
Which I don't see. Like, I think that's a bad analysis of this, and in fact, I think Bear is being more like, you look at the reviews of this, I think he's more maligned than he should be. I'm not saying he makes all the best decisions, but I think people are reviewing and analyzing this as if like he was either some sort of like mad scientist who concocted this thing, or met with someone, some sort of like voodoo witch doctor, priestess woman who, really premeditatedly possessed Nikki in some way, right? To be obsessed with him. Like, it was some dumb toy from a gem shop that, why would you ever think this thing would work?
Yeah. I agree with you. I've seen a little bit of discourse, and obviously, I've only watched the movie really today, but I was seeing a little bit of like, oh well, he's an incel, or he's a selfish guy, and he's taken away her agency. And when I watched the movie, it wasn't like, I guess I can kind of see it like that, but I didn't see him as being a malevolent character in any really way.
No,
I thought like, okay, and also it's like, okay, he's in early 20s, so he's kind of a loser. But it seems like his love for this girl, it's genuine. It's not like, oh, I just want to bang this chick and make her my sex slave. It's like, I genuinely like being around her.
That's what I want to say. So first of all, like he this wasn't some random girl. It's not like he had a parasocial relationship with Nikki and was like, okay, I want this YouTuber or this movie actress or whatever it is to fall in love with me. Like, no, he knew her personally. He's good, like really good friends with her in their friend group, co-workers, and he was in love with her.
Yeah.
And so imagine that you feel that way, and then that person reciprocates it, obviously to a dangerous degree.
Mm-hmm.
But you would be on the literally the drop of a dime, right?
Yeah.
you would be so confused.
Mhm.
It would be I mean this literally, an unbelievable turn of events.
Mm.
And I thought like the only sex scene in this movie, now if he was just, I thought there would be like a sextage, like a sex montage where he's just having crazy bouts of sex with Nikki, knows that she is suffering. Now we'll get to that where again, I'm not letting Bear off the hook here.
Yeah, of course.
Entirely. I'm not saying that. But like there's one sex scene in it where and it's just a kind of vanilla missionary sex. And apparently I didn't even see this, but apparently the actress herself said this. She said, one, that's the scariest scene of the movie, because if you look at her face, she's saying like, oh yeah, Bear, give it like acting like she's enjoying it, but really she's just like dead inside. Like
her face has like a blank stare on it.
Yeah, which I didn't notice that because I as a viewer, I knew she was possessed, where she's not going to be normal. She's not going to look like, if that was a non-possessed person, you'd be like, oh shit, like that woman is not enjoying that.
Yeah.
Because she's a normal person who is having sex against her will. But that's actually the exact opposite of this movie, of what's going on, where she's obsessed with the person who's having sex with her. So I thought that was kind of a stretch. And maybe that scene should have come a little earlier, where it was much more like you said, when he first brings Nikki home, they don't have sex.
Right. Yeah.
Then that scene then should have been Bear more aggressive. That would have, I think, made him come off much more as a villain.
Yeah.
Where it's very clear that she's obsessed with him. He's in love with her. And again, he thinks it's love. Now, he knows that it was the one wish willow or whatever, but that's still a crazy thing to happen. Of course, you're going to have sex with the person who you're in love with, who is showing you an unbelievable amount of affection. Yeah. Even if it's unhealthy. Like, of course you are. It's crazy to think otherwise. So I thought that was kind of a stretch. Now, and that's a lot of the movie where Bear is confused. She's now should we reveal the fucking cat thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I can't even. I was very disturbed with this. So she feeds him his dead cat.
Yeah,
in the sandwich, which that was like kind of gross out to me. I guess it's fine. If you're listening to this and you didn't know, I wrote a whole article about how I'm tired of seeing cats die in movies. Yep. I think it's kind of cheap and easy, but I guess this was a little different. And I think it actually is more. I actually appreciate that it was more a part of the plot than just a cheap way to show someone's evil, which is usually how it's used. It actually was a part of the movie, so fine. I'm okay with that, but this could have been a dog. This could have been it's disgusting. This is a disgusting thing that to me is when, if I were Bear, I would have see ya. I'm moving to. I'm just getting out of here. Like that was really disgusting and horrible. So anyway, she packs him a lunch, a sandwich. That is,
I've dumped girls for far less than that. No, here's the thing though, because I mean, it's a movie, it's a horror movie, so of course, like there are certain, there's like you're stretching logic to a certain, like he's a young and it's clear that he's probably relationally inexperienced. He probably hasn't had very many, if any, girlfriends. So he's probably like, and look, there have been times where like I was in a relationship with a girl and I was kind of like, she can be kind of a bitch sometimes, but whatever, I'll try to make it work, maybe this and that. And then you go, oh no, you should have dumped her sooner. Like that was, and so this was, I think, like an exaggeration of that.
Years long relationship like that.
Right. You keep justifying it to yourself.
I know it well.
Yeah, you can. Well, there's a way. I'll talk to her about it. We'll compromise. We'll figure things out. And then you look back and you go, I should have just cut ties much sooner. But I thought this was kind of like a good demonstration of, again, not a malevolent thing, but I think just kind of like how dumb guys can be when you're in a relationship.
Well, yeah. So here's the thing. I thought there's one sex scene which I think is maybe that's an indictment on Gen Z. Apparently, they're not having sex, and it's right. You would think that these two, like, he's genuinely in love with her. She is possessed possessively, whatever you want to put it, and obsessed with him,
Mm-hmm.
you would think that'd be, and they're in their early 20s, it would be nonstop sex.
Right.
And it's not what happens. And I think if that had happened and then it was shown like she's not consenting to this, like the real her is not consenting to this.
Right.
And Bear saw that, understood that, and continued to have sex with her, I think that would have been a much more villainous character.
Yeah.
So the fact that it didn't happen was just so surprising to me, where it's like, maybe it's supposed to be implied, but pretty quickly she's doing insane, disgusting things. Like she shits herself, right? And pisses herself.
Basically, yeah. She
just standing by the door waiting for him. Like, I could see how he doesn't want to, like, no matter how attractive she is, because she becomes unattractive where she's acting insane and disgusting.
Yeah.
So he's not like, I don't know if you saw Companion last year. Did you see that?
No, I don't think
it's
so.
It's an AI movie. It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Not nearly as, and I only, that's AI and this is possessed. It's like very similar. Like they could have been very similar plots in the sense of the guy has control over her and her body and he can do whatever he wants. In that movie, it's much clearer that she's used for sex in many ways against her will. She doesn't have agency. Here, it's really not, which just surprised me because people, like, you read a lot of the reviews of this and it's just like, Bear is the epitome of the incel. And it's like, I'm just not seeing that. Like, you can make an incel movie. I don't think, is that what Curry Barker was going for? Like, to me, that was not, that's not what I was getting from this character. I was getting
I feel like, incel is a much more extreme. Like, it's not just a dude who's not very lucky with the ladies. It's more of a, like, stay at home, be on the internet all the time,
can't
and
talk to girls.
Can't talk to girls, but also you have like this like antagonistic relationship
with
women.
Like a hatred develops. It's not. This is just.
This seems much more wholesome. Just kind of a loser, but well intentioned.
Exactly. So I think some of the criticisms are stretched. Now, okay, so I kind of defended Bear in some ways. There is a scene that comes where he, where it's like, okay, he's not making the right decisions now and he's evil, which is a really good scene, I thought, when Bear is getting up to leave out of bed, because Nikki's sleeping. Yeah. And he's kind of halfway out the door and she starts whispering to him. And it's the real Nikki speaking to him. Yeah. And she's saying something to the effect of, she's asleep, like referring to the obsessed Nikki. Yeah. Kill me. Yeah. Like, please kill me. Like the Fly type, hold the shotgun to my head and kill me type thing. Yeah. And he doesn't respond with empathy. Yeah. He responds with, why would it be so bad to be in love with me? Which is not a good line. Yeah. That is where it's like, oh, okay, he's shitty. Like, that's a shitty thing to say. Now, if he showed confusion, because what the fuck is he supposed to do? Go get a gun and kill her and then be like mercy? Like, that doesn't, he could be given the lethal injection. I don't know where they live, but he could be sent away forever. Like, also just killing someone, they're asking for it is not an easy thing to do. Right. A lot of people would be conflicted about that, especially someone you're in love with. Right. So, but his response is really bad in terms of sympathy. You kind of lose your sympathy from there.
For sure. Definitely. And on the other side, though, it could also, he's a deeply insecure dude. So it could be like maybe he was starting to be like, oh, cool. Like, this really pretty chick likes me and we got a good relationship. And now she's expressing doubts. Like, well, why would she not like me? So it could be that.
I don't know, man. By this point in the movie, she has shown some like it's not like if the movie had the trajectory of she becomes obsessed with him, they're having tons of sex, they're going out, they're having fun, but there's this hidden real Nikki inside of her who is clawing to get out, and the possessed Nikki is fun and interesting and good, like a good girlfriend, but just kind of crazy. Then I could see him being like, well, what's so wrong with being in love with me? Like, we're just we're in our honeymoon phase. We're having a great time. That would be someone more understandable where he's coming from. Still not a great response, but
Right.
by this point in the movie, she is done. That's like late in the movie.
Yeah.
Right. Like
It's
I think
about halfway through the movie, I think. Yeah.
I thought it was more than that. I think she's already. Didn't she already hurt herself at the party, or is that? No, maybe.
That's right, because he's sneaking out to go talk to Sarah.
Right. So the party already happened.
Yeah.
She shit herself. She tried to lock him in. She served him the dead cat. Like all this stuff's already happened.
Right.
So for him to be like, I don't know, that's not a good answer.
Right,
it's not a good response to someone who's suffering.
Yeah.
So that to me isn't an incel thing. That's more of a shitty guy.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to take any responsibility.
Right.
So then I mean I guess we don't have to spoil the ending, but
yeah, we'll let people experience that.
It's I'll just say I did not foresee what would happen with Sarah, and I really, really liked the ending.
Yeah.
I thought it was very well done, kind of ties things together, not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
You?
And I thought it was actually pretty emotionally devastating. Like what how it leaves Nikki, and I won't leave like the state that she's in. I thought that was like, oh shit, like that was
because it can be tough to end a movie, and that was really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and fun fact is the director Curry Barker is the voice of the One Wish Willow. Like, yeah.
So he calls the number on the box, being like, hey, so what can I do? Can I change my wish? Can I cancel my wish? And he's just like this obnoxious, like slow speaking, condescending asshole. There was so it kind of reminded me a little bit of how like Netflix operates. So how like when you're requesting a movie, you're like typing a movie, like, oh, I want to watch Die Hard, and it shows Die Hard, like, oh, there it is, and you're like, we don't have this movie. And it's like, well, then why do you even? So it reminded me that the interaction in that movie reminded me of how Netflix goes. So he calls up. And then the guy's like, hi, hello. And he goes, hi. So I was, I have the One Wish Willow, and I made this wish, and I want to know if I can change it. He goes, we don't do changes. Do you want to cancel the wish? He goes, yeah, all right, fine. I'll cancel the wish. He goes, well, we don't do that either.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, overall, I enjoyed it. I think, me being a little nitpicky, it was not it had a couple of minorly freaky scenes, but I'm still kind of like, okay, when is there going to be a horror movie, a new horror movie that actually genuinely creeps me out? That so I'm still searching for that. And I think it's also one of those things where it's like I'm a little late to the party. Like I'm watching now that it's been out and it's on streaming, so it's like everybody was raving about it. So I think I went in with high expectations, and I'm like, that was a solid movie. I don't know if it quite lived up to the hype of if I'd have seen it opening weekend or while it was still in theaters, I might have been like, a little more caught up in the wave of it. But now I'm sort of like,
all right. I loved it. I thought it did live up to the hype. I thought it was really original, and
it's it is very much in the vein of the Monkey's Paw.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah, it's a monkey paw movie.
Yeah, the sort of be careful what you wish for. So exactly. I thought certain elements were a little predictable in that regard.
Sure.
But overall, I thought it was a very solid movie. And here's the thing: the movie was made for less than $1 million. It doesn't look, and it also has like a very contained, like it only takes place really in a handful of locations. Right. But I thought like the filmmakers got a lot of mileage out of it. It doesn't look like a cheap, low budget flick. It's got some great lighting, and I recommend it. 7 out of 10. We won't do Dead Cats. But I still want to do something related to the movie. 7 out of 10. Broken Twigs.
One Wish. Yeah.
All right. So I'll do that.
Yeah. Oh, and the wish comes up again, and it's kind of funny what happens, but
yeah. So yeah, go check it out. It's a good movie. And with that, Benjamin, we'll see you in the basement.
See you in the basement, brother.